Hi Flosstube, I'm Annie and I'm the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode number 17. This is a special edition episode that is a Quaker Christmas stitch along update. And even if you are not doing the Quaker Christmas stitch along, please stick around and watch. I think that this would be a fun video for us all to enjoy. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you subscribe and like my videos and watch my other videos. I usually record on Thursdays. Today is July 26th, which is a Monday. I had hoped to film this yesterday on the 25th, but life happened and this video did not make it. But my plan going forward is to film these updates on the 25th of each month to sort of get us in the Christmas spirit for December 25th. But I'm going to film on the 25th of each month until I finish the sampler. So just to give you a little refresher course of this stitch along, I am co-hosting a Quaker Christmas stitch along with Artie. She is the vintage stitcher on Flosstube and on Facebook. I will link her channel below and her group below. This is the piece that we are doing. It's called A Quaker Christmas, and it is from Bygone Stitches. It was designed by Gail Reinhardt in 2007. And how this stitch along came to be for us is I was watching Artie's video back in March or April, and I saw that she had this same pattern. And I've had this pattern and it kitted ready to go since 2017. So I emailed Artie and I said, Artie, let's do a stitch along. And that is how this came to be. So we decided to open it up to our subscribers and our followers on Instagram and on Facebook so that we can all stitch this together. And we are seeing so many different types of designs and color choices and sizes in this design, and it's been a lot of fun. So what we did is on May 1st is we told everyone that this is what we wanted to do. We gave everybody a month to gather their supplies and their pattern. And on June the 1st, we started the stitch along. And our hope is to have it completed by the end of November so that we can have the sampler in our home for Christmas. Some people have already finished. Some people are just now starting. Some people had this already as a whip in their long lost pile of whips, and they pulled it out and they're working on it again. So this has been a wonderful, wonderful journey. And if you have never done a stitch along before, let me just tell you, my stitch alongs are very flexible. I am a firm believer of stitch what you want, when you want, and how you want it. So if you're wanting to stitch this not often or every day, you can do whatever you want. If you're wanting to change the colors, you can do that. I have seen this stitched in so many different color choices. I think this would be lovely if you wanted to break this up into smaller pieces and not stitch it as one big piece, and maybe stitch some motifs for ornaments or fill a dough bowl. So my goal for this special edition episode that I'm going to do every month is I want to show you my progress, talk about the design that I'm working on and what I come to realize as I'm stitching it, because I am the type of stitcher that I have these thoughts that come up as I'm stitching, and realizations and just things that help me get through any piece that I'm working on. But it also just helps me just define myself a little bit more as a stitcher and as a person. And so that's something I want to share with you as well on each of these episodes. I'm also wanting to learn more about Quaker samplers. I don't know anything about Quaker samplers. I have never studied them before. I have never stitched one. The only thing I know is what they look like. You know, I can point one out, and that they are from the school of the Quakers and some of the more known Quaker schools in America are the Ackworth School and the Westtown School. I want to learn more about Quaker samplers and the symbolism of the motifs and share that with you all. So that is my goal for these special episodes, but I think it'll also be fun to sort of see the progression of moving along with this sampler. So now that I have sort of given you my goal and my idea, I'm also going to do giveaways at the end of each episode. The giveaways will be done for just this video, and if you enter to win, the announcement will be at the next video, which will be at the next month. But I wanted to go over a little bit about this pattern and this design. As I mentioned, it's called a Quaker Christmas, and it is from Bygone Stitches. And I'm going to come in a little closer so you can look at it a little bit more closely. So many beautiful motifs. This is all the color calls for balsam fir, classic color works. Cupid is the red, and the gold is yield gold. And some people are using the DMC conversion. Some people are using completely different colors. Some people are not putting Merry Christmas, but putting their family name so they can leave this out year round. Possibilities are endless. You do what you want to do. Remember, this is your sampler. This is your design. But someone had asked me, and I'll show you my progress right now. But somebody had asked me if I had a piece of linen big enough, because looking at it, it looks like I do not. So a little bit about what I'm doing. I am stitching mine on 36 count cream Edinburgh. And I am using 1 strand of floss over 2. So let me show you my progress right now. And this is big enough. I triple, quadruple checked. When she sent me that message, I thought, oh no, what if I don't have a big enough piece? Look at how amazing this little Christmas tree is. So sweet. And what the designer, Gail Reinhardt, did is, this is, I guess, more, accurately called a Quaker inspired sampler. It has all the Quaker motifs and all the things you will see in a Quaker sampler, but it's not a Quaker reproduction. So a little bit about this design. It is 320 stitches wide. It is 205 stitches high. And if you're stitching this on 14 count or 28 count, your dimensions would end up being approximately 22 inches and 3/4 inches wide by 14 and 5/8 inches high. If you are stitching this on 16 or 32 count, you will be approximately 20 inches wide and 12 inches and 3/4 inches high. I'm stitching on 36 count. So that means that my end piece will be approximately 24 inches by 18.5. And I did double check, and I do have enough of this linen with 2 inches to spare. So hopefully I started it in the right corner. I did decide to start this in the upper right-hand corner. And right now I'm all the way down to here. And I just have the tip of this bird that I've started, and I've started on the piece. I just have the P left. So I'm going to show you again my progress. And remember, this is the cream Edinburgh, and I'm using 1 strand over 2. This has all of the markings of a Quaker sampler. And a little bit that I found out about Quaker samplers is that they were simple and plain in style, because that was just the traditional style of the Quakers. And so I find that interesting, because when I look at a Quaker sampler, I don't see it to be simple or plain. I see them as being beautiful and intricate and just fascinating. They did have a few different types of samplers, but this motif with the medallions is the most recognized and the most reproduced style of a Quaker sampler. Just a few things to point out that I did quickly learn was that most of the motifs in these samplers will have the medallions. The medallions go all the way to the edge, and oftentimes they are cut off. And nobody knows why they are like that. Some are half, some are whole. But some people believe that that was part of a mathematical problem-solving technique to help the children learn halves and whole and quarter in their mathematical problems. Do not know that for sure. I could not confirm that, but that was one belief. Some other motifs that you will see in these samplers are the 8-pointed stars. And this one does have some 8-pointed stars. And Gail Reinhardt did a beautiful job with adding other motifs. The two birds facing each other, that's a symbolism of love. Seeing a cross in the rosettes, that is a salvation of mankind. It also symbolizes the axis of the world. So these are things that I want to learn going forward about Quaker samplers. They use so many different motifs. Some are not in this sampler, but they do, you know, the wreaths are here. But a lot of samplers will have swans, sprays of flowers, sprigs of wreaths and doves, and 8-pointed stars are always a theme. And then of course the hexagon medallions and motifs. All of those things I find fascinating. Again, I am not an expert. I do not know anything about Quaker samplers, but I want to use this opportunity to learn a little bit more about Quaker samplers. So with that being said, that is my very, very brief update on Quaker samplers. One thing that I did, I asked some of my friends, what do you like about Quaker samplers? And a lot of the same answers came across. A lot of people like the monochromatic and simplicity of them. Some of them said that they like the rhythm that they get into when they are stitching these medallions because they're intricate, but they're simple. I just find that to be very interesting. I was watching Artie's video today, and she had a fabulous tip that a viewer recommended to her. When you're stitching a monochromatic piece, go ahead and thread about 6 of your needles with your same color so that when you finish one strand, you're ready to go with the next one. And so I took that and I'm gonna run with it. I think that's a fabulous idea. That is a beautiful thing about stitch-alongs, is you can learn something from your fellow stitchers. You can meet friends and you can just pick up some good tips like that from other stitchers. One thing I noticed that when I was stitching this, I was going very slowly in the beginning because I was using my favorite hoop, which is this very tiny hoop. And I was getting frustrated because I was like, why am I slowing down? It's because I was stopping and moving my hoop so much. So when I figured that out and I switched to these wonderful hoops that my friend Kay gave me a long time ago, I am making much more progress and I'm moving a lot faster on it. My goal is to have this done by the end of November. And the way the chart is, there are 3 full pages of the pattern. And then the last 3 pages are half of a page. So in theory, I think I can have this done by the end of November. If I don't, that's okay. But I am going to make this be my focus piece over the next several weeks to get a good progression on it. But again, I want this to be fun. I want it to be at my own pace, not because I set this deadline for this stitch along. But if you would like to follow us along, use the hashtag Quaker Christmas SAL. I will link Artie's videos below. You can follow her. I called House Trill today because I had ordered some Picture This Plus linen from them, and I told them about our stitch along, and they said that they have several copies of this in their shop. I will link their shop number below and you can call them. Johnson City store is called Cross Stitching Crafts. They can do the same. They have several copies and they can ship that out to you. So if you're interested in joining us at any time in this process, please do so. I think it'll be fun. Use whatever color choice linen you want, whatever color floss you want, and just have fun with it. I'm going to record these videos on the 25th of each month, but my regular videos are on Thursdays. So I'm going to do a giveaway right now, and the winners will be announced August 25th. So to enter to win, please be a subscriber to my channel, like my video, and comment below. What I want you to answer is, what is your favorite Christmas tradition? My favorite Christmas tradition that comes to mind is, I have many favorite Christmas traditions that we have, but one of my favorite traditions is we go to Christmas Eve service and we go to the evening service. And it is a beautiful service. The music is beautiful. It is lovely. It not only, as the season goes on, we set the tone for Christmas, right? We're celebrating these different traditions and these different foods and these things we do along the way, but something about Christmas Eve service that really sets the tone and the mood and the reflection for me for Christmas. At the end of service, they dim the lights, we sing Silent Night, and at the end of the song, the star above the altar is shining bright. I'm always touched, I'm always moved, and Christmas is not complete unless I attend that service. So that is my favorite Christmas tradition. Please answer below, what is your favorite Christmas tradition? All are wonderful. And then be a subscriber, like the video, be 18 years or older, come back next month on the 25th to find out who wins. But here are 3 giveaways I would like to offer you as my thank you for watching this show. So this is from Beth Steele with Summer House Stitchworks. This is Harriet's Valentine Bouquet. That's number 1. Number 2, the next 2 are from Judy Whitman from JBW Designs. This is Joy Noel, number 2. And number 3 is JBW Designs Love. So answer that question below, like my video. Feel free to ask me any questions, or if there's something you would like to know about Quaker samplers while I'm doing my research. I have books on order. I hope that they'll be here by the weekend so I can study. I found some ebooks and some websites to do some research. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I'll try to keep it exciting and entertaining. But if there's anything along the way that you want to know or want me to find out, let me know. I would love to do that. I am going to apologize. I'm going to push that button because I have misplaced my remote for my camera. And for me to edit, I have already recorded this twice because I accidentally deleted my last video from trying to edit me getting up and pushing the button. So please excuse me while I do that. That is the reason why, because I don't want to delete it again. I feel like my first time around was better than my second time around. But thank you so much for watching me. I'll see you next month, and I'll see you on Thursday. Until then, happy stitching, and thank you so much. Bye.